Hello and welcome to Pokke Village Hunters, Episode 2, The Phantom Menace.
No.
Oh. Wait, no, that was Episode 1. Anyway, I'm Adell.
I am Rin.
And in today's episode, we will be talking about more of the lore aspect that we slightly touched upon in the races of the Monster Hunter world. So what's on the agenda today, Rin?
Well, first off, we're going to talk a little bit about Tri-Ultimate, since that's come out since our last recording. And we're going to start a little, what do we want to call this?
What, the challenge?
Yes.
Okay. And to correct you, ma'am, it is 3 Ultimate, not Tri, thank you.
What the heck's the difference? You're terrible.
Naming, it is a 3 and not a T.
What?
Ah!
Tri was a 3.
No, it was a T, ma'am. There was a big difference.
You're
Big
terrible.
difference.
Anyway,
why
we're
they
going
didn't
to
just call it
start
Tri-G.
a thing where we give you guys a challenge to try until the next episode. And
Yeah,
you
one
can-
that I have to complete.
Yes, we both will complete.
Yeah.
And you guys can post on the Pocket Players forums and tell us how you did.
Or you can record.
Or you can record it if you have access to such things.
Yeah. Okay, so the challenge this week is to hunt a village / low rank Raytheon. You can go on to the online. Usually we prefer solo, but if you want to do it in a group, it might be funnier. In the starting gear, with no upgrades, no skills, just you and your iron weapon. And your, I'm guessing, leather armor in the new game.
Yeah, it would be leather armor in Tri-Ultimates. Portable third, it would be like Yukuma armor.
The best armor.
If you're playing a very old game and you start off naked, you are allowed to purchase the lowest armor, which is usually leather armor, I think. But,
And
yes.
I'll be doing it in Tri, so...
Okay, I'll probably be using portable third.
Yeah. And we'll be doing... You can do it in any game. And, like she said, good luck to the people in the older games.
Yep, Monster Hunter 1, oh dear lord.
I'm not playing that game. You
Nope.
can't... I don't get paid enough for this. So, how is 3U so far? I don't have the Wii U version. I only have the 3DS. But I keep playing Fire Emblem and not Monster Hunter, which is really getting... I need to stop that. So, what do you think of it so far?
Well, I actually haven't been playing much of it on the Wii U either, mainly because I don't have an HD TV yet, and I can't read any of the text. And since I'm doing a lore-based podcast, that's kind of important for me to be able to do. So I haven't been playing on the Wii U, but I have been playing on my 3DS. I've just unlocked high rank recently in the village.
Oh, very nice.
It's pretty fun. I like it.
See,
low rank.
It's not. It's not the television. Ren is just dyslexic. Anyway, go on.
I'll have you know they thought I was dyslexic for a while when I was a kid. But seriously, I would always get my B's and my D's mixed up. Like the lowercase b and lowercase d.
Hey, how did you make that backwards D?
Exactly. No, but anyway, they kind of nerfed low rank a bit.
How so?
It's like I was like just chopping off tails and breaking things and killing monsters so fast in low rank. I mean, compared to like Tri, but
Try.
well, even like in offline, in Tri, like Baroth was a lot easier, I think, than he was in Tri.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because Baroth did make his debut in Tri, I think he
True.
might have been a little strong in that game.
Yeah.
Because remember in P3, it was kind of easy.
Yeah, that's true.
But
My first real challenge was Durambros, to be honest,
really,
in low rank. But
So,
even then, I
is that-
didn't die. But it was harder.
wait, is his name actually Durambros?
Yes, it's Durambros.
Okay.
Otherwise formerly known as Dobobelk in Japanese.
Doboberaku-chan.
Yes, he is the big
Helicopter monster.
he is the ballerina water buffalo.
That's a good way to put it.
Yep.
The volcanic ballerina water buffalo.
Yes. So have you had any interesting stories happen to you yet, Adell, since the little that you've played, or anything funny, or...
Besides my blunder from the last episode forgetting to upload Switch Axes, No, not really. It's been kind of quiet, honestly. I can't really think of anything. Like I said, I suppose to have been Fire Emblem.
Well, I haven't had too much funny happen to me. Actually, I just had something rather humorous happen to me just a couple minutes ago when I was waiting for you to get back from your candy run.
Yo, candy's on sale.
Yep, day after Easter, candy's on sale. Gotta grab it.
Sugar Monday.
No, but I was fighting Crimson Kurapeko to get his Volt Stones so I can upgrade my dual swords. And, of course, he keeps summoning Devil Joe all the frickin' time.
Right.
So I was complaining to your girlfriend about this stupid Peko, and I said, "F you, Peko. I hope Joe eats you." So what happens? Joe gets the killing blow on Peko, and then he starts eating him.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's like, wow.
Imagine if Joe was eating the dead monster. That he actually ate the dead monster?
Oh no, that would be terrible. I wouldn't be able to carve.
Come back, Joe. I have to slice open your belly, bro. The hunt continues. The hunt continues.
Oh my. But yeah, that's about all the interesting things that have happened so far to me. I haven't been able to do much multiplayer, and that's usually where the funny stories come from, especially when you're around.
Well, I'll get my hammer set working for you, don't worry.
Oh god.
I got my eyes on stuff already. While I've not been playing, I've been doing my research, knowing what I want, so hopefully this time I'll be a little bit better prepared than when I first started playing Try, and it just made junk. Ugh. Okay, so.
Shall we move on to the main topic then?
Yes, and I'll let you take it away.
Well, you're going to be doing some of it. I'm not doing all the work here.
I'm eating. Nom, nom, nom.
Oh, you and your candy. Anyway, today's main topic, as we said, is the races of the Monster Hunter world. Since most people who play Monster Hunter already have a decent understanding of, the weapons and the armor and the monsters themselves, since that is the main focus of the game. Something that tends to get overlooked a lot is the people of the Monster Hunter world. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the intelligent races of the Monster Hunter world. Those three being the Lineans, the humans, and the Wyverians.
Yeah.
And we shall start off with the Lineans.
Okay. So I'll take it from here.
Okay.
The Lineans. So yeah, that's how you say it. Lineans, not Lineans.
Well, it's feline, so Linean.
But it's
yeah.
But lynx, you don't call it a lynx. Anyway, all right, Lineans. It has three races, technically, I guess. Yeah, races or species, I suppose. You have your felines, which are your buddies, usually in battle. In every game that isn't Try and 3U, they are the ones that accompany you into battle. You can have up to 2, and you can customize how they act, kind of. Like they will do melee boomerang or melee bomb, things like that. And in the field, ones that aren't with you, they're simple farmers. They don't really mess with you. If a monster shows up in that area, they do not differentiate friend or foe, and they will throw bombs everywhere. They will run into the monster with the bomb. And it is just... They are probably one of the funner species to watch in the field.
They are adorable. They're usually the beige-colored ones, by the way.
Yes.
They're beige with brown markings. They can be different colors if they're one of your feline companions. Single-colored, tabby stripes, spotted, all different looks.
Purple. So, on the note of darker colors, and then you have the Malinks, which are probably one of my favorite races, besides the last one, because Malinks are the black cats that do nothing but steal from you. I don't know whether to be offended in some sort of way or amused, but their whole purpose is they will not fight the monster. They will just try everything to screw you out of an item. They will jump at you if they hit you with their attack. If it deals any damage, it's minuscule, but what they do is they take an item from you, and you have a small window to hit them and get that item back. Because if you don't, they take off with it, and then there's a chance it'll show up at the feline village, and you can take it back.
Right, well, it shows up at the drop spot.
Does it always?
I don't know if it always does, but that's
Right.
where it usually shows up. Sometimes the drop spot is the village, sometimes it's not.
Oh, Jesus.
But yes, Maylinks will steal items and occasionally deposit them at a drop spot on the map. Somewhere you can find them. They're usually marked by a sort of vaguely cat-like stone statue with red markings painted on it.
And when you go up to it, there is a yellow mark over your head instead of the regular red.
And interesting to note is that the kleptomania of the Maylinks only applies when you encounter them like out in the field somewhere. If you go into a feline/Maylinks den and there are Maylinks in there, the Maylinks will not bother you unless you mess
kick
with
them all day.
That's not nice.
It's hilarious. So the village, though, when you think of village, you think of like Yakumo, you think of Moga, but the Linian villages are actually they're more of a tribal society, and they usually live in caves, and they all get along and live together, despite the Maylinks being kleptomaniacs.
Yeah. Well, the felines and the Maylinks live together. The other race of Linians, which are the Shakalakas, they are usually separate. They don't tend to live with the felines very much. But
no, they tend to loiter in your home.
Well, only in Try and Try Ultimate. But before we move on to them, a little bit more about the felines and the Maylinks. Unlike the Shakalakas, which usually just live in a cave, felines will at least attempt to build a little bit. They tend to burrow into the sides of the cliffs, so you can see like little tunnels with windows in the sides. Very cute.
Little crops.
Do they?
Yeah, they actually. I remember in P3, there was a little dude with a hoe in the feline village.
Really? I never noticed that. I have to look for that.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
right by the bamboo shoots.
Huh, I'll have to look for that. Alright. And another very fun thing about felines and Maylinks is that they love felvine.
I love felvine bombs.
Felvine is a herb that you can collect in the field or get from your farm or whatever like that. It's based on the real world silver vine, which is a vine that's native to Japan and China. It is very strong catnip like plant.
Yes.
Maylinks, if you have felvine on you, they will forget about stealing anything else and they will go after the felvine. Which is handy if you're going to be in an area where there's a lot of Maylinks and you don't want to be bothered trying to kill them all to get your stuff back.
Like where I have to go fight Rathalos.
Yeah.
In Area 4. He's there. He's going to be... It's 3 or 4. He's going to be there, and then the Maylinks are going to be there, and they're going to be jumping on me, and he's going to be swinging, and...
Yep, you can also use the Felvine to create Felvine bombs, which if you hit a monster with a Felvine bomb, it will get this buff to it. You'll see like this pink cloud on it, and it will cause all the felines and all the Maylinks in the area to attack the monster instead of going after you. However, be careful, because the Felvine bomb can also hit you.
Oh, yeah, and then they will come after you.
They will come after you.
It's hilarious,
if you hit a feline or a Maylinks with the bomb, though, they will get drunk. They will get extremely intoxicated, and it is hilarious. Yes. And I am definitely getting footage of that for you to use in the video.
Oh, I was going to use it anyway when I went and hunted Rathalos. But a tip to all hunters, always bring Felvine bombs.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have.
Unless you're fighting an Elder Dragon, then it's worthless. But when you go out into the field, any map, bring them. People laugh at me when it's like, oh, you're bringing Felvine bombs. Yeah, I'm bringing Felvine bombs, man. Watch.
I love those things. I use it on a monster, and I'm like, go, my minions.
Come forth.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on to the final.
One more thing I wanted to say.
One more thing, Chucky.
As we were saying with the felines working with human hunters, felines are pretty much the only Linians that really are in human and Wyverian society. Maylinks aren't trusted because they're kleptomaniacs, and Shakalakas they don't really bother with humans very much. Except for in Try and Try Ultimate, you've got the two little ones. But overall, they generally don't mingle with human society very much. But the felines do. They're usually hired as laborers, as farmhands or helping with the blacksmiths and that sort of thing. They're usually considered inferior by the humans and the Wyverians. They're kind of looked down on a little bit,
right?
Which is a little sad. Poor Neckett in Pokke Village. I will get to that when we get to the Pokke Village episode. But yeah, racism is unfortunately alive and well in the Monster Hunter world,
as it should be.
Oh, terrible!
I know. All right, so
moving on. Yes, Shakalakas. Why don't you tell us about Shakalakas?
Favorite race. So they are like small, green-skinned. Well, as far as you know, green-skinned.
Well, you can tell from their arms a little bit.
That's true, huh? Yeah. Little goblin-like creatures. They are much shorter than you. I think they're about the same size as a feline. And their faces are always covered by a mask. You will, like that little weird acorn face you'll see on Shakalaka and Kayamba.
Your Cha-Cha.
You
said Shakalaka and Kayamba. It's Cha-Cha.
I like Kayamba more, man. I can't.
Well, Cha-Cha's the one with the acorn, so.
Yes. Well, that is not their face. What is between where like there seems to be a little mouth, that is where their head is.
Pretty much.
So don't think they're just little guys with big heads running around. That's their helmets. That's their armor, I guess. But what they do is that mask is them. That is what their whole culture is based on. And they live under the command of King Shakalaka, just a single one, who apparently is larger than the rest, and he tends to use a flaming barbecue spit for a ground.
Yep, you can fight him in Freedom Unite. He is very small, but do not underestimate him. He is terrifying. Because he's very small and he's very hard to hit, and he will hurt. He likes to throw flaming fireballs all over the place when he gets angry. Kind of like how Cha-Cha and Kayamba act when you put the grill mask on them. And they start flinging fireballs around. Yes.
Yeah. That is the best one, though, because you don't have to bring the barbecue spit out into the field. I'll just use my bro.
But yes. Well, I wouldn't say a single King Shakalaka. Each tribe, I think, has its own king. They're kind of in their own little tribal society groups.
That would make a lot more sense than just one Shakalaka king all over the world. No. But the younger ones, the young Shakalakas, have to go out into the world, away from the village, and find the mask that will make them a man.
Pretty much. It's their rite of passage. That is why Cha-Cha and Kayamba are in Tri-Ultimate. They're in Moga Village because they got lost on their quest to find a mask, and they've recruited the hunter to help them find the mask.
They've recruited me. All right.
Yep. Well, that's what they say, right? You are their minion, right?
Oh, if you insist. At least they don't count for your triple card. Oh,
that would be terrible.
Yeah, hard mode, engage. So yeah, but I personally prefer Kayamba. He's so much cuter. I'm sorry.
I like my felines the best for companions.
Yeah, felines are alright. I don't know.
I love in Freedom Unite. Portable Third, how you could customize their armor. That was one of the best things, and I'm really sad they didn't do something similar with like Cha-Cha and Kayamba's masks in Tri-Ultimate.
You can see you just stick a different mask on.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like actually have like craftable masks out of monster parts like you did with the feline armor.
True. One day.
One day.
Okay, so I think we're done with the Linians.
Yep, the Linians are the least technologically advanced race, or group of races.
What's the best way to put it? They're very folkish.
Folkish, yeah. They're. I don't know how to put it.
Folkish.
Okay. They're very tribal. Let's put it that way.
That's not folkish.
The next race up would be the humans.
The boring ones.
Oh. Unfortunately. Oh. There's not a whole lot to say about humans, really. It's a human. They're kind of self-explanatory.
You are humans.
Yep, you are a human. Player character is always a human. They're the second most technologically advanced. They got most of their technology from the Wyverians.
Yes.
They're also the most numerous of the peoples in the Monster Hunter world. That's about all there really is to say about them, though, specifically. Yeah, not a whole lot.
How boring. That's pretty dull.
A little dull, yeah. But it's well, humans in fantasy genre tend not to be too amazing. They leave that for all the other creatures.
I'm RPing my character. Thank you. He is a hunter who has wandered into Moga, and he's here to hunt. He's stripped himself of his ways and starting over anew. He's a criminal. His name is Darks.
Moving on.
What's the problem? Original character. Please do not steal. Okay, so Wyvernians.
Wyverians, yes. The last race that we shall talk about. So they are the most technologically advanced. They're kind of strange as far as appearances go because they're really variable. Although, an interesting thing I have discovered, one way to tell if someone who plays Monster Hunter pays any attention at all to the in-game text is to ask them if they know what a Wyverian is. Because if they don't, they will have no clue.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Basically, Wyverians are very humanoid in appearance. They tend to have pointed ears. They're kind of the elves of the Monster Hunter world.
Except they also have big schnozzes.
Not all of them. Just the Jumbo Village chief.
I don't know. Was it just him? I thought
him.
like most.
No, it's just him.
Or is he? Did we see any other males?
Yeah. The Argosy captain.
Oh yeah, him.
And like the older Wyverians, the Wyverian artisan in Moga Village, and the farming hand, the guy who owns the farm. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he's short.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Some of them, they're very variable in appearance. Some of them tend to be human-sized, like the Argosy captain. He's actually a little bit taller than humans, while the Jumbo Chief is a little shorter. Some of them are like feline-sized, like the farming manager and the artisan. And some of them are gigantic. Like Dondruma's Great Elder.
Oh.
He is huge. He's bigger than a dragon. He's gigantic.
Would you say that the quest lady in Yakumo Village is normal sized?
The Elder, you mean?
Because she is Wyvernian.
Yeah,
right?
she is human sized. She's the younger Wyverians tend to be human sized, while the older Wyverians tend to be feline sized, like the Veggie Elders. And all.
That's weird. They just shrink over time.
Well, but the Dondruma's Great Elder is really old, and he's huge. And nobody really knows why that is.
He's just kind of there.
He's just kind of there. Well, he's not the only giant Wyverian. He's the only one seen. But in Freedom Unite, Pokke Village, you remember that gigantic sword in the cave? That was planted there by a giant Wyverian who was the ancestor of the Pokke Village chief, who is very small.
Oh,
so, yeah, we don't really know why that size difference is there. There's some speculation that once upon a time all Wyverians were giants, and they've kind of diminished as time has gone on, and the ones that are still giants are tremendously old. Because Wyverians have very long lifespans. I don't even know if they can die naturally. They might be... I know they can be killed, but I don't know if they can die of natural causes or if they just go on forever. But,
until killed.
Right. Well, we don't really have too many actual numbers, though. Treshy, the treasure hunter from Pokke Village, he's 350 years old.
Okay.
But he's the only one that we actually have any numbers for. So we don't really know, say, how old the Jumbo Chief is. He looks like he's in his 40s, but we don't know. He could be 100.
Don't they also have they only have 4 digits on their hands,
yes,
don't they?
About their continuing on with their appearance, we kind of got a little sidetracked. They have pointed ears. Some of them are just straight pointed back, kind of elfish looking. Some of them droop over forward, like a dog's ears. The Pokke Village guild hall manager, her ears are like that.
Yes.
They tend to have digitigrade feet, which, if you don't know what that means, think of like a dog or a cat's hind legs, how they walk on their toes. That's what digitigrade means. But not all of them. A few of them are plantigrade, like people, like humans, which is kind of really strange. I don't think Capcom has it figured out how they want these guys to look.
I kind of like that because it adds diversity. If you think about it.
What's his name? Sujimori? Is that his name? The director? He did.
I'm gonna take a guess.
Yeah, he did say that there were multiple races of Wyverians, just like there are multiple races of humans in the real world. So that's a possibility that some of them are just very different.
Hey Ren, why are there no black people in Monster Hunter?
well, you can make your character a black guy. Mm-hmm.
Can you?
Yep.
Whoa, black guy with a pompadour? I'm on it.
Yeah, you can make your character any skin color you want, basically. The diva in Dondruma City, who is Wyverian, has very dark skin. I don't know if she quite counts as person of color, but yes.
Right. I was going to say, in Try, there was a sassy black woman, the one that would sell you.
Yes.
Or trade you things, rather.
The fish lady. The lady who...
Yes, she seemed pretty sassy and independent. Yes. Okay, moving on, though. Continuing with Wyverians.
Let's see here. We talked about their appearances. Wyverians, as I said, are the most technologically advanced race. They invented the Wyverian blacksmithing, which is what is responsible for the creation of all the weapons and armor in the Monster Hunter games. Apparently, it is very, very difficult to learn, because it is said that no human can learn to do it. Presumably because they just can't live long enough to learn how to do it, because humans have such shorter lifespans. However, there are a few human blacksmiths. The Jumbo Village blacksmith and her husband are the only two known human blacksmiths.
I was going to say, because I remember in Try, there's that little short dude, and he's Wyverian.
He's Wyverian, yep. And even in Pokke Village, the blacksmith there is a Wyverian, although you wouldn't know it by looking at him, because you can't see his ears and you can't see his legs.
And Yukumo.
And Yukumo, yes, he's a little short Wyverian. He's very senile. The Yukumo Village.
Don't mind him, he's funny.
But yes, and the Wyverians have also invented like the Dragonator and the Ballista and the cannon and gunpowder and all of these things that they use to repel the large monsters and all that sort of thing.
Interesting thing though, if you in the I believe it's Cadius, right?
Cedius?
Cedius? Are we saying Cedius or Cadius?
I don't know. I don't know how to say that one. Maybe I can ask Reno.
The Elder Dragon. The Elder Dragon at the end of the story mode
yes.
Try. There we go. If you remember, it takes place in a sunken village underneath the island itself now, and there is a Dragonator in there that you use. So an interesting note it could be made that could have been where Wyverians lived.
Well, I will talk about that
ago.
in a little bit, because that's getting into the history of the world. Wyverians, as far as I know anyway, founded the Guild, the organization that monitors all monster hunting, prevents the overhunting of any particular species. I've had to do a lot of Google foo to find this information on the Japanese websites and stuff, because it's very hard to find. They've said that the Guild is not technically the government of the Monster Hunter world, even though it tends to act like it is. Government tends to be a more local affair with the elders and that sort of thing.
And the village chiefs.
But as I said, it has such the entire economy of the Monster Hunter world is focused around hunting monsters. So the Guild is so powerful that they're the de facto people in charge. But
I remember, on the note of overhunting, that the creator of Fairy Tail and all that, she made the Monster Hunter Orage manga.
Okay.
And that's one of the focus is that you're not allowed to hunt in certain areas unless you are marked as such. So I like that she kind of took that aspect and it's like, okay, you can't do this, but I'm going to overwrite that. And all right, he has this mark now, and he can do that. So okay, whatever. Wait, and they use the aspect of, all right, in Monster Hunter you can only have a party of 4. With hers, this dude with the mark could just join any party at any time, wherever they were, kind of thing.
I've never really read the manga, so.
It's short and it's cute. It's not really good. It gets a little out of hand, but that's, if you want to look it up, Monster Hunter Orage, I'll type it out.
It looks like O-Rage, if you want to.
That's not how you say it.
No, but that's how it looks when you spell it, if you want to know how to type it.
That's terrible. The proud Nipponese people pronounce it Orage, you baka gaijin.
But anyway, as for, the guild controls hunting and prevents overhunting, and one of the major reasons for this is to get into the history of the Monster Hunter world. Keep in mind, Capcom's never really come out and said that this is the history of the world. We've just kind of had to glean it from little bits and pieces, and some of it has come from concept art, which may or may not still be valid. It may have been something that they just tossed out and put into a book and said, "Oh, here's some concept art," but it's not actually.
It's like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Yeah. Don't worry. People know what I'm talking about. Go on.
All right. But anyway, according to all of that stuff, take it with a grain of salt. Sometime in the very distant past of the Monster Hunter world, it was very advanced technologically. I don't know if it was humans and Wyverians. Probably both. But it was very technologically advanced, and they used monster parts just as they do now for all of their technology, but they were not quite so ecologically friendly about it. They overhunted, and there were a lot more dragons then, too, like elder dragons type, and apparently they were rather intelligent. And they kind of got sick of being driven to extinction by these greedy people for their technology, and they waged war against the humans and the Wyverians. And one of the technologies that the humans and the Wyverians had was this biological weapon, which they simply called the equal dragon weapon, because it was equal to a dragon. But it was this patched together Frankensteinian monster made out of parts of dragons. Yeah, I will give you a picture of it that you can use in the video. Baby. But it was this nasty Frankensteinian monster that they used to fight the dragons, and it was such a horrible war that neither side won. They both drove each other to almost to extinction, which is kind of why technology is not as far advanced now.
And there doesn't seem to be a lot of villages.
Right,
per se,
the population is rather low. There are tons,
a lot of wild landscape,
and there are tons and tons and tons of ruins everywhere in the Monster Hunter world. Like the deserted island in Tri-Ultimates, Moga Forest, basically. That entire island is like one giant ruined city. There are, can look at the cliff faces, and there are windows and passageways and just stuff everywhere. There is a ruined Dragonator on the north coast, underwater.
Is there?
And the pillars sticking up out of the ground, I think that circular area there, what is it, Area 10? Is that what it is? Yes. I think that was an arena. I really do. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like the pillars had like a domed roof, and there was a Dragonator in the corner, just like there is in most of the other arenas in the Monster Hunter world. So, and it's kind of circular. So I think that's what that was. But yeah, even if the Great Dragon War is no longer considered canon by Capcom, something bad happened in the far distant past, because there are so many ruins, and they're all in kind of the same state of decay, so they all kind of were abandoned at the same time. So something big happened.
And there's so few people, and even fewer Wyverians.
So.
Such a terrible thing. Oh.
There was something else I was going to say. But, never mind. We'll cover that in a different one.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yes, so that is the races and the people of the Monster Hunter world. A little bit about the history as well.
Anything else you got? I mean, this is your shtick.
Not for now. I think that's about it to wrap it up for now.
There is one thing. Even though they have limited the hunting of certain monsters are actually messing up the ecosystem because of their emergence.
A little bit, yes.
Yes, such as Devil
Joe.
Which is the reason for his new form, Hungry Joe.
I think they're calling him Savage Devil Joe in Trials, in the localized.
That's fair enough. Well, I guess we'll call him Savage. Well, Savage Joe, if you notice, he apparently has eaten himself to the top of the food chain, and there's not much left below it.
Yeah,
so he goes out of his way to find anything he can.
He's kind of like half starved, half crazy at this point.
There was an interesting lore bit about him, actually, that you know how he has the dragon breath whenever he's enraged. Okay, well, his savage mode, if you notice, always has it along him, but it comes from his saliva and glands in his mouth. So what they're thinking is that he hasn't eaten as much, and his skin has gotten a little weakened, and the stuff that makes dragon breath is oozing out of the pores onto his face, and that is why he has that appearance.
That's kind of terrifying. Yeah.
I like that. The only thing that would have made it better is if more of the teeth were exposed from that or something.
Yeah.
But that would have been just a little too creepy. Also, do you remember Devil Joe's concept art? It's like the big T-Rex, but it's kind of like
I don't think I've seen that, actually.
I'll bring up the picture for you, but it's like I think Devil Joe was supposed to. I think they were experimenting with if a lizard caught a virus kind of thing. Like he's not normal in any sort of sense. He's a really big monster, and he's really hungry for some reason, and he's really aggressive, like more aggressive than I would think other monsters technically. So it's like if you look at his concept art, he's like this big kind of T-Rex looking monster, and then the second one, he's kind of like, it looks like stuff on him is kind of falling off. His skin is drooping a lot. He's really hunched over more often. It's like,
yeah.
So maybe we can cover that in another episode. Mutations, maybe with Stygian's ogre. You know, things like that. But that is another episode. We've only covered the world.
We will definitely do more episodes. We will cover more of the world, more of the monsters, more of the people. So, but that will be for another time.
Okay. Yes. Is there anything else we need to add?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, I still haven't thought of a saying.
No, we still haven't thought of a saying. That's terrible.
Second episode. This is going too well.
I heard a joke the other day.
Oh, go ahead.
If Giggy Knox don't answer.
Oh. Oh yeah? What do you call a strawberry when it's sad?
What?
A blueberry. Ah.
At least mine was Monster Hunter related.
Yeah, well, it was bad nonetheless.
Anyway, this has been the second episode of the Pokke Village Hunters.
Yes. And we'll be back. I think we're going to do a bi-weekly thing now.
We'll try to.
No, we're going to. Get it away from me. So, if you have any questions for us or anything, leave it in the description or on the forums, and we'll cover it, answer it as best as we can. Do whatever. Remember to leave your Fortnite questions or answers in the forums at thepocketplayers.com.
And we will see you next time.
Yes, this has been interesting. I learned a couple things this episode.
Oh, good.
So, yes, I look forward to more Professor Ren.
Well, alrighty then. You shall have
Ren Sensei. Ho ho hi-yo. Alright, well, this is Adell.
This is Rin.
And we'll see you guys later.